The second one, which I think will be is of concern to us, and I'm sure, Mr. Chairman, sir, all of us, we have a shared obligation to ensure that the dignity of every Nigerian is protected by the National Assembly in conjunction with the executive. We have some of our countrymen and women who are accused of one offense or the other. From the information from the Correctional Service, we have about 80,812 inmates in Nigeria correctional homes across the country. Mr. Chairman, you might recall our first budget defense in 2023, when we discovered that the money appropriated for feeding an adult or a human being in Nigeria correctional home was 750 naira a day. And that translates to 250 naira per meal if we assume that they feed 3 times a day. But because these services are rendered by contractors, that 250 naira also include profit margin for the contractor. It also includes the withholding tax, which every contractor is to pay. If you net those out of the 250, the actual amount that was left was less than 200. It is worth noting that as a result of the effort of the National Assembly and of your committee, sir, Appropriation Committee, a recommendation was made to the President. And because we have a listening President who has human feeling and who cares about the welfare of all Nigerians, regardless of whether they are in prison or out of prison, the President has graciously approved an upward review of this sum from 750 to 1,250. 1,125 naira a day. And if you divide that by 3, if we assume that they are fed 3 times a day, it comes to about 375 naira per meal. And this 375 naira per meal include withholding tax, profit for the contractor, and all the other charges that under the tax law. Everybody, sir? And water. Including, of course, including water. So we thought that we should take a more compassionate view of this situation and allocate a much higher amount. But knowing that our finances are limited and take into account the fact that we are actually basically under austerity, stated or not, which explains why we are not able to implement budget 100%, the gap between projected revenue and commitment to a certain level of expenditure. We thought that when it comes to survival, we should give that a priority. So we recommend that in the first instance, if this amount can be reviewed upward to 1,500 naira a day, that would mean about 500 naira per meal, water inclusive. But always we must bear in mind that this 500 naira, because these services are rendered by contractors, they will see how withholding tax and other deductions. So in the end, the net available to feed a detainee or an inmate will fall around the region of maybe 400 naira per meal. Given the reality of cost of living, we believe that this amount to starving our unfortunate countrymen and women who are under correctional home. I think it bears repeating, Mr. Chairman, that it is not for nothing that the government decided to change the name of our correctional homes from prison to correctional home. I think it was intended to emphasize that those who are being held in these facilities were meant to be corrected, certainly not to be starved to death. More worrisome, Mr. Chairman, sir, is that of these 80,812 inmates, 24,913 of them are serving jail term. The rest, and you have 3,944 condemned prisoners who are on death row. And you have 51,955 inmates who are awaiting trial. Order at the Nigerian legal system, until you are convicted, you are presumed to be innocent. Therefore, and I think we are very fortunate that Mr. Chairman is a very seasoned lawyer himself. So people who are innocent, who are presumed innocent, but who are being kept in our correctional homes, 51,955 of them across the country, are starving with 400 naira per meal, inclusive of water, or 500 naira per meal. No, 375 naira per meal. And when you made the deduction, it comes to about 300. So we thought that we can make a recommendation for a modest increase from 1,150 to 1,500 naira, so that they can have, on average, 500 naira per meal, 3 meals a day, that is 1,500, and it translates to about 45,000 naira a month, which is less than the minimum wage, or about half, roughly half of the minimum wage. Mr. Chairman, nobody knows who will be the next detainee, and like I said, a lot of these guys are not necessarily guilty, but they are there because of the power of the state to hold on to citizens who are suspected of crime, whether they are guilty or not guilty, and they are awaiting trial. So I urge you, sir, to use your strong influence and members of this committee, because this is a case in which there is no local government where you don't have a prisoner. So every senator here, every member of the House of Representatives represent people who are being detained for offense for which they have not been convicted, and who under our law are presumed innocent, but they are starving in Nigeria prisons. I don't think I need to re-emphasize this bond more than this. And as we can see, yesterday's governor, maybe tomorrow's detainee, who may be a customer in one of the correctional homes. I would say much more than that. I would say senator will never be there, but should they be, they will be under this 400 naira a day. So nobody knows tomorrow. But I think we have a duty to protect all Nigerians, even those convicted. They are meant to be corrected, not to be starved to death. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the members of the Appropriation Committee, including my colleagues in the House of Representatives, we had this joint meeting together, and we both agree to make this passionate appeal to the Appropriation Committee to think through and have a compassionate look at our requests and approve it and accordingly revise the estimate upward so that, and I believe that the amount is affordable. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for your patience. That is the summary of our presentation. As I said, I don't want to go through what is already in the budget, the 75%, sorry, the 70% that is rollover. We didn't add, we didn't subtract. And the other one is the usual running costs, personnel costs, etc., which is also paid centrally. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.